The Buffalo Bills are in first place in the AFC East and are having the best start to their NFL season since 1993, which was the last time they made a historic run to the Super Bowl. With the rest of the AFC East division in an absolute struggle just to produce a winning season, it has become very clear the Bills will be the AFC East division champions, which has led all of Bills Mafia saying that this is finally their year to head back to the Super Bowl. Bills fans around the world, famously known as Bills Mafia, are coming off an incredible high after beating the Kansas City Chiefs at home and ruining their undefeated season. But just like the Bills from 30 years ago, will the 2024 Bills keep their hot streak alive? Let's take a deep inside look at the hottest team in the NFL and the odds-on favorite to take a trip down to New Orleans in February and win their very first Super Bowl. If you don't remember the days of Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Don Beebe, and Bruce Smith, the Bills of the 1990s were an absolute powerhouse. No one in the AFC could match their offensive weapons, and Jim Kelly's K-Gun made games fun to watch. You could even say the Bills' offense was a precursor to the type of offense run in the modern-day NFL. Fast forward to 2024, and you replace those 90s All-Pros with today's Bills stars: Josh Allen, James Cook, Khalil Shakir, and Dorian Williams. And today's Bills are just as good as the 90s Bills, if not better. Just look at the stats. They are third in the league in scoring touchdowns and points scored. They have a defense that is top 10 in points allowed per game, and they have the all-powerful momentum coming off a well-needed bye week. And to top it off, the final stretch of their schedule appears to be favorable to them, having 3 of their final 5 games at home, with 2 of them being against struggling division opponents like the Patriots and Jets. It's even possible that Sean McDermott may plan to rest his key players by then, since they will most likely have the division sewn up well before Week 18. But we all know that the key to the playoffs is to get the number 1 seed in order to get the first round bye. So unless the Kansas City Chiefs implode, the Bills will keep their foot on the gas pedal all the way through Week 18 in order to push for that number 1 seed and get the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Let's take another look at why the Bills have all the key pieces to make it to the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at their new defensive coordinator, Bobby Babich. For those of you who don't know who Bobby Babich is, he's this young, smart, down-to-earth guy who, if you saw him on the street, would look like some random dude who you may want to have a beer with while watching the game. But Bobby Babich has an excellent football mind, who is aware of how to scheme up the right defenses each week and get his players ready for game day. You know how the NFL has all of these young offensive head coaches like Sean McVay and Mike McDaniel? Well, at 41 years old, Bobby Babich is looking like the next up-and-coming young defensive coach to be competitive for a head coaching role. There are a lot of young defensive-minded head coaches like DeMeco Ryans and Gerard Mayo making their way into the head coaching positions, and Bobby Babich should be the next one up. Anyways, much like Chuck Dickerson and Walt Corey got the Bills defense to 4 consecutive Super Bowls in the 90s, Bobby Babich has the ability to get Dorian Williams, Greg Rousseau, and Austin Johnson playing at their peak level right in time for the playoffs. Let's just hope that Babich learns to keep his mouth shut and not pull off the major mistake made by Chuck Dickerson. In case you missed out on that spicy 90s drama coming from the Bills coaching staff, Dickerson thought it would be wise to mouth off and talk trash about the Washington Redskins players right before their 1991-92 Super Bowl matchup. Of course, Washington didn't take kindly to Dickerson's words and proceeded to pounce the Bills in Super Bowl 26. Bills head coach Marv Levy was pissed, to say the least. Levy fired his defensive coordinator, but Dickerson would proceed to rip on him on multiple occasions after he was fired. Marv Levy then said enough is enough and took the liberty of firing back at his former defensive coordinator on his weekly show, and let's just say it made for some good drama and entertainment back in the day. Fast forward to today, and I think it's safe to say that head coach Sean McDermott and defensive coordinator Bobby Babich have a way better working and personal relationship compared to Marv Levy and Chuck Dickerson. There's no doubt that the success of the 2024 Bills defense has kept them on top of the league, but it's no surprise that their offense is what definitely sets them apart from the rest of the league. A lot of football talking heads and analysts have the Bills as the number 1 team in the league because of Josh Allen and the Bills offense. Stephen A. Smith and the ESPN First Take team have consistently put the Bills at the top of the weekly rankings called Stephen's A-List. It's an entertaining and fun list to grade each week, but he always likes to say this list is fluid, it's fluid. Yes, Stephen A., the list may be fluid, but the Bills have consistently been on the top 5 of your list all season, and there's no doubt why. Josh Allen has been playing out of his mind in recent weeks, and with the addition of Amari Cooper, the Bills offense has all of the right tools in place to make a deep run in the postseason. The only thing that can mess them up as we approach the postseason is injuries. Yes, every team this time of year is battling the injury bug, and the Bills are no different. It's tough seeing Dalton Kincaid out of the game against the Kansas City Chiefs before their bye week with a knee injury. Wide receivers Keon Coleman and Amari Cooper have wrist injuries, but Cooper made it back to active in time to play in Week 11. The big man himself, offensive tackle Spencer Brown, is playing through an ankle injury, and Bills have another 8 players on injured reserve. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time, and it should help with getting some of these injuries healed up enough to get the players to an active or at least limited status. We will just have to wait and see if they will be active in the upcoming weeks in time for the postseason. So we've covered all of the reasons why this year is the Bills' year to reach the Super Bowl. It's because of their offensive firepower. Their defensive coaching staff is working out well to get the best out of their defense, and the Bills are doing everything possible to keep the injuries at a minimum. But we left out one key piece to why this is the year the Bills are going to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. And it's the Bills Mafia themselves, the fans. I know this may come off a little cheesy, but the Bills fans have genuinely done everything possible to break any curse that may be lingering over the team in Orchard Park. I honestly don't believe that there is a curse on the Bills team, but if there is, it has to be lifted with all of the acts of kindness and charity that Bills Mafia has done over the years. They have to be one of the best franchises to donate to causes for not only their players' charities, but their opponents' charities as well. Take a look at some of these amazing acts from Bills fans in recent years. Remember when Bills kicker Tyler Bass made that incredible 61-yard field goal to help beat the Dolphins and set a new franchise record? Well, Bills fans wanted to show their love and appreciation to him by donating $61 to his charity, the 10 Lives Club. The following day, the charity was up to $23,000 in $61 donations from Bills Mafia. But they don't just donate in times of winning, they also show charity in times of losing. Tyler Bass missed a tough 44-yard field goal last season in the divisional round of the playoffs to lose to the Chiefs 27-24. Once again, Bills Mafia showed up and donated over $400,000 to the shelter. Gone are the days of heckling kickers like Scott Norwood because of missing field goals on the grandest stage of them all. Instead of hatred, they turn to acts of kindness, especially to their opponents. Bills Mafia led the donation drive for Tua Tagovailoa's foundation after he suffered a serious concussion in 2022 against the Bengals. They raised more than $400,000 in 2017 for then Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton and his foundation after the Bills ended their 17-year postseason drought, and many more charitable donations over the years. If that doesn't break a curse, I don't know what will. So with all of the right pieces on the field, good synergy with the coaching staff, and good karma flowing through the Bills fan base, there's no question they have everything set in place to make one historic run to Super Bowl 59 in Louisiana. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.